Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and today I'm finally joining into It's All About the Mouse, a YouTube series on YouTube obviously, and this is today's prompt where we had to find something to inspire us, and I've gone with the colours, and I've also gone with the 3 different layers from the round circle of the satin at the top, then the Neptune in the middle, and the gardens at the bottom. So I've chosen those as my inspiration here. I have been watching these series for a long time, so I finally bit the bullet and thought I'll give it a go and see how I go. The one thing that we do need to include in it is a nod to the mouse or nod to Mickey, so I have done that in this as well. So here I have decided to do a grid type background, and that is the 3 tiers that I was talking about, the 3 levels. That's what I inspired me from that photo, and also, as I said, the color choices. So I'm just manipulating these backing squares into place, and the reason I need these in place is because I'm then going to do a quad square pattern in them with different pattern papers, and that is to further develop the color scheme of the layout. Now I'm just going to trim this down because I have prepared my 1-inch border, which has like the speckles of a star in it, so that's also that space theme. It's also like movie stars. Now you'll see that I didn't lay it one at a time this time, and sure enough it didn't sit beautifully. So I'm going to go back and do one at a time, and it will sit down nicely. So remember, I always say to do that one at a time, and it makes the biggest difference. What I'm doing now is I'm cutting out the squares that I'm going to use to build up the pattern inside. So the coloured cardstock are 3 3/4, and I then am cutting 3 1/2 squares, which I am then cutting into 4 triangles. And then I'm going to mix and match them onto the squares like this, and that's going to build up the pattern that I need as my background for this layout. I have chosen different patterns and different colours. These all come from different packs of papers, but they relate to my photos, but they also relate to the colour images from that prompt. I'm going to go off screen and continue building these squares so that when you come back you'll see them at that finished state. And the reason I did that is because it's really quite a long and laborious job, and you know how to stick down paper. So now that I've finished the quilt-like pattern onto these squares, I'm just going to place them onto the coloured cardstock, and already you can see the brightness coming through on this layout. And as I said, it relates beautifully to that stimulus that we were given, because that was like a bright, beautiful garden with the colours of the planets in it. And so I'm using that and following that through here on the layout. Now, this does take time, but it does look effective. And I could have done less on these squares because there will be some that are covered up by my photos, but the overall effect is just a better way of mapping when I needed to. Now these photos are of my 2 daughters, 2 of my 3, the 2 elder daughters, and Sully, of course. Now there's a story behind Sully. I had just had my youngest son, and it was Christmas time, and I'd gone into a local shopping centre, and they had a raffle for Sully. And I said to my husband, I'm going to buy a ticket and I'm going to win Sully. And we were to be told on Christmas Eve if we were the winner of Sully. Now my son, he was only, he would have been about 10 weeks old at that stage. And Christmas Eve in the morning, I got a phone call, I'd won Sully. So we had to go down and get Sully. And so these photos were the girls on Christmas, or not even Christmas morning, I would have said Boxing morning probably, where they just loved Sully. Even though it was for my son, who was little, a baby, these girls just loved Sully because it was the time that Monsters Inc. came out. So 2004, Sully was a big hit. I love Sully. We still have Sully. He's very, very big. He actually stands about my hip height. He's quite big. My children love him. So that's my nod to Disney. I have Sully from Disney Pixar, but also I'm now putting in my Mickey Mouse heads, which I cut out on my die cutting machine, which I don't own anything in very much in the way of Disney. Disney is like, we like Disney in Australia, we do. It's just not big like it is in America. So unless I'd been to Disney, the only big Disney thing that I do really is Disney on Ice, and even so I don't have that much in the way of Disney. So I had to cut out my mouse heads, which I've placed here into the centres of my squares just to finish them off instead of buttons. I've put 2 at the bottom of the photos over here, and I'm going to pop that one up on some foam tape, and I'll put this one down here and this one here, and I actually pop another one on top of that blue one for dimension. So that's how I've given my nod to Disney here and about the mouse, and you can see that the layering up of it there gives it just that extra dimension. So I'm going to add in my title and a nod to the How to Kill a Kit with Style for January focus of using alphas. I've had these for a long time and I'm just going to use them up. I've adhered them down with glue, obviously, and now I'm just going to add stickles to that wood veneer to make it sparkle and give it that little bit of Disney magic. And that's how I bring in the gold to the layout. And then I'm going to use pops of colour, and I'm going to put them in sets of 3 on the side in the blue and the purple, which is a nod to Sully. And then I like pops of colour because once you give them the little tap underneath, they flatten out and they look like enamel dots when they dry, and it's a great way of finishing off the project. And then I'm just looking at it and I realise that, no, I think I would like to put more of the Nouveau drops or the pops of colour but across the layout under the title. And you all know me, I have to do it in odds, so I'm working it out that I need to do one more to make it work better. And I'm going to put the teal colour in between, and that way I now have a line under the title, We Love Sully. And I'm just flicking them and flooding them, and now they look like enamel dots on that page. So that's how this has come together. This is how I've joined in to the All About the Mouse hop this time round. I liked the prompt, it was pretty good. I was lucky that I found these photos just of my children recently, and they fitted perfectly in with the colour scheme and the title that I wanted to go with. So there's a full playlist listed down below. Make sure you go and check everybody out. Watch some of the great things that are being created by all these talented scrapbookers. And hopefully I've given you something to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Happy scrapping until next time. And here's my next recommendation for you.